I read this about 2 weeks ago, a book called An Elephant in the Garden. And this book is by Michael Morpurgo. And this book actually earned a spot on the Texas Lone Star reading list. And this is a reading list, and I'm sure you've probably heard of the Texas Bluebonnet books, but this is a reading list kind of geared towards middle school students. And this book is definitely an excellent pick for any middle school student. I was actually searching for a book and sought the advice of the librarian at McMichael Middle School. And before I could even tell her like what kind of book I was looking for, she just upright suggested An Elephant in the Garden. And I'm so glad she did, because once I started reading, or actually before I started reading it, I kind of researched a little bit about it. And it was definitely a book that took place in the World War II time. And I love World War books. Like kind of a historical fiction, and this one is based on a true story. So it was a great read. And to tell you a little bit about the book, it actually starts off in present day time. So kind of think about like maybe 2012 is when the book was published. And it follows the story of a woman who works at a nursing home. And she always brings her son to the nursing home with her when she's having to work and maybe he's off school and there's no one to take care of him. And she's always afraid that maybe that her son won't get along with any of the people living at the nursing home, but he always does. One day they get an older woman that moves into the nursing home, and she's kind of reserved, very stubborn, hard-headed, but you know, the mom can definitely tell that she has a lot of great stories to tell, and that, you know, deep down she's not the senile woman that everyone makes her out to be. One day she can't find her son out on the playground where he usually plays and, you know, maybe plays chess with the residents of the nursing home. So she finds him in, her name is Elizabeth's room. And Elizabeth is telling him about an elephant in the garden. And all the workers at the nursing home had always heard her talking about this, but they just chalked it up to, oh, you know, she's just losing her mind. The little boy eventually coaxes the story out of her, and we are taking a glimpse back in time to 1945, and we learn that Elizabeth's mom works at a zoo, and one of her favorite animals is this elephant named Marlene. And with it being back in the 1940s, the town they were living in was being threatened to bomb. So the zookeeper tells the family that they're going to have to shoot and kill the elephant, which is really sad for them. Not being able to do that, they go and hide the elephant in the garden. And when it comes time that their town is being raided, they have to escape the Russians by traveling through the, you know, the cold snow and everything with an elephant in tow, which this is something that would be hard to do with just a family. But again, they've got this huge elephant, and it kind of just goes through the story about the trials and tribulations of this and how they end up, you know, finding more about themselves and their families. And it's a great read. I would say it's a quick read. It is actually a level 5 book, so it's more actually a 5th grade book, but I would say the content is more for middle school students. It's checked out a lot. I'm actually going to have to return it to the library tomorrow, so I definitely am going to look into getting this for my classroom. If you're looking for a quick read, I would say go for it. One of the great qualities of this book is it's kind of split up into parts, and each of the parts has a big turning point. So if you're somebody that needs a plot that moves along quicker, this is a great book to check on out. Again, it's by Michael Morpurgo, and it is on the Lone Star reading list. So if you are looking for a next book to check out, I would say go ahead and look for An Elephant in the Garden.